The Easy Woman Spears, for sure.
Excuse me. Did you
There's free water upstairs.
I hear Adriana's walking.
I brought some tissues in case it was emotional.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. Test 1 2. Good evening. I brought some tissues in case it gets emotional. I hear Adriana is walking. All right, let's get right to it. This woman is asking for advice. All right, she has a post and it's entitled "How to Suggest Doing $20 Dates." Well, what kind of dates? What kind of dates? I mean, are we talking about pick her up at the corner dates and the date takes place inside of a car? Will their fluids be accepted? Well, let's get right into the post. Okay. She goes on to say, I just started seeing a great guy and neither of us is rich. He took me on a lovely first date at a nice restaurant. Okay. And I returned the favor at a similar venue. I am a feminist. And I believe in going 50-50. Okay. All right. But I'm not sure how much longer I can keep this up. I want to suggest to him that we each plan a $20 date day. Oh, I see what this is the thrifting type of girl. Okay, this one's at the thrift store and shit. Okay. I want to suggest to him that we each plan a, quote, $20 date day, end of quote, where we do fun, free, or low-cost stuff. Okay? The feminist is seeing the reality. Okay. Let me continue. I'd go first to show good faith. I have some ideas I think will be fun. I'm worried he'll think I'm cheap. Well, here you are putting a limit on the amount to spend at dates. Okay. I'm worried he'll think I'm cheap. And I'm also worried he'll agree to it, then feel obligated to take me somewhere fancy. I want the pressure to be off. Girl, is this a cool thing to suggest, or would it be weird how to suggest it? Okay. I'm going to read some of the responses, and then I'm going to give her Juanqui's point of view. All right? Somebody says, who's a man? This is a man. I have no idea how this guy will respond, but I personally be shocked to hear that. I personally will be stoked to hear that. I take it as a sign that you're actually interested in getting to know me and not frame it much like you have here. I'm really enjoying getting to know you. How about we plan some fun, cheap dates so we don't have to stress about anything beyond just getting to know each other? All right, somebody else says, let's see. I would really like it if a woman I was dating suggested this. It would signal both that they like spending time with me regardless of how expensive or flashy the date is, and also that they are frugal. Both green flags for me. Okay. And let me pick a last one. And then I'm going to go ahead and give her my thoughts. If a girl I'm dating tells me, quote, look, I really like spending time with you and the first few dates were amazing, but honestly, I love a coffee and a stroll through the park just as much as an elaborate dinner, I'd absolutely have to love it. Okay. All right, here's my thing. Here's my take in the whole thing. First of all, dating takes moolah, okay? If you're not prepared to date because you're not financially stable, you don't have a home, an apartment, a cottage, a cot, and a hot plate where you can just say, let's stay in. I would love to cook. We could do some cooking dates and stuff like that. Then you shouldn't be fucking dating. And I know how that sounds, but humor me for a minute. Don't just hear it as you talking about money to go on date. No, I'm talking about being responsible. If you are not set up correctly to the point where $20 is not going to affect your bottom line, or whether or not I'm going to even say $20. I'm going to say a date, to the point where a date going out once a week or whatever, or a couple of times a month is going to hurt you to make your bills, then you shouldn't be doing it. Okay? That's just my take. You should be, just like you should be emotionally ready to go out and date, you should be financially ready to go out and date. Now, that's how I see it. Now, it's not all about going out, because as somebody who lived in New York City, going out to dinner, you get tired of that. Sometimes you just want a good home cooked meal. All right. A better suggestion, instead of saying, oh, let's just do a $20 date or whatever, it would be to stay in, cook some food, or even order in. Ordering in is cheaper than actually going out and sitting at a restaurant. You don't have to do the delivery, and you don't have to do the service fee and the tipping and all that. Get something. I would suggest get something someplace around the house. You guys can meet up, go around, pick up the food, come back, get a couple of Netflix or whatever, and spend some time inside. That's even cheaper than going out. Since you're not prepared to do that. Now, as we saw, I polled three guys, and all three guys loved it. They absolutely are going to love it. They're fucking cheap. My husband, the Incredible Hulk, is in the audience, and he states, this may sound crazy, but I've never considered cost when I went on dates like that. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. If you're going to go out, you need to be prepared. Like, if you're going to be dating, you need to be prepared to do that. You need to be ready. You need to have the funds. You need to be at a certain level in your life if that's what you want to do. Run the city, Sex in the City, do all of that. You have to have the financial. First of all, you got to put yourself together. You got to smell right. You got to You got to get your hair cut. Women got to get their hair, nails, the whole nine. It's a process. Stay the fuck home. Of course, any man is going to love a $20 date. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, because if they're truly a gentleman, they're paying for the whole thing. If they're really about that life and they're going to take care of the whole bill. You understand what I'm saying? So my suggestion is, if you can't afford to go out, girl, stay the fuck home. If you go in the cheap way, cook him a nice meal cheaply. Since take your EBT card, go get some noodles. Some noodles. You could get the egg noodle pasta or some penne pasta. You could get those for like $2.99 or $1.99 at the Aldi's and shit. You get a good box of that. You put that in the pot to boil. You get some ragu salsa. I'll make mine from scratch, but you get a little. You heat that up. Okay. You get a little bag of salad, lettuce, tomato. You cut a cucumber in there. extra brownie points if you get the garlic bread. Boom. Italian at your house. Italian at your house. Since that's what we're doing. Feminist. You know, everybody want to be a feminist until it's time to be a feminist. You want to be a feminist and you want to go 50-50, but now you only willing to do 20-20, okay? No, I need you to be a whole feminist and take care of the whole bill. Take care of the whole bill while you're at it. The whole thing. And let's go to the most expensive restaurant. I want steak. And as my appetizer, I want the shrimp. And that dessert is going to be a tiramisu. Okay? I want a cock and a tail. 3 of them. At every course is going to get a refill of a cock and a tail. And because I will be a little tipsy and I still need to get into this Uber or the train because it's New York City, I'm going to need a cappuccino at the end. You know, coffee, the coffee service, tea or coffee. After you have everything right before they can bring the bill. Would you like some tea or coffee? Yeah, absolutely. A cappuccino, 3 shots. So I could sober up. And when they bring the check and they put it, you know, fancy, smart places bring the check. And well, you know what they do? They put it in the middle of the table to let whoever's going to pay for it grab it. A feminist is going to grab it. All right, feminists. Take your American Express Platinum. You know, that one is due at the end of the month. Go ahead, pay for it. And once she pays for it, you look at her and you say, I really enjoyed my time with you tonight. I cannot wait for us to do this again next week. All right, enough of the production, enough of the rambling. Okay, you want to suggest $20 dates? Okay, she's going to suggest the $20 dates because everybody in the chat is saying that. First of all, when you're dating somebody, when you're getting to know somebody, you don't always have to go out to a place to go sit down and eat or have drink. Dates could be as simple as let's take a stroll in the park, meet me after work, let me pick you up from work, and we could walk together. You know, just to talk or whatever. You don't always have to go somewhere, especially when the weather gets nice. When the weather gets nice, you could just be outside. We outside this summer. You know what I'm saying? We outside this spring. In New York City, there's summer stage, there's concerts, there's free things going on. They close the streets for fairs and all of that, musical concerts. And in New York City, most of the parks have like a concert series. And, you know, it's well in advance, so you know and you can plan. You know, there's just walking on the pier, just walking the New York City streets. You know what I'm saying? You want to be cheap. I think it's harder to date in the winter. In the winter, you kind of have to go out or stay indoors because it's cold. It's 20 degrees outside. Who the fuck wants to walk in? Only I like to walk in the cold, rain, freezing, like all of that. I just like to walk and be out when nobody's out. I love it when it's raining and cold and it's just the workers going from point A to point B. I love it. Oh my God, I love it when nobody's on the block. Absolutely love it. But since you want to do your $20 dates, go ahead. He's going to love it. He's going to absolutely love it. At some point, somebody's going to get tired of the cheap shit. And then it's going to be, well, why are we spending all this money? How we ended up, you know? That's what's going to happen. But you have the right to ruin. Yeah. Run and ruin your relationship the way that you want to. You know, I dated differently. And like I said, I waited to be in a place where I could date, you know, where I can enjoy dating. Who the fuck wants to go out dating, counting pennies, thinking about, what's the cheapest. Oh, we can't do that. I can't do that. Oh, that goes over the butt. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell who wants to have that magic and that spark disturbed by numbers? I certainly don't. Now, do we have to be spending all day, every day? Absolutely not. And then in developing that relationship, that friendship, that chemistry with that person, then you start then developing the way that you guys date, the way that you guys spend time together and all that. But girl, you want a feminist? You want to just spend $20? Go all for it. I wish you the best of luck. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who came through. Please hit that like button. We do this every single night. It was a peaceful Saturday. Saturday today. It's been raining all day, so I've been under the covers, just in and out of sleep. The allergies were fucking me up a little bit, but I took some medicine for that. So we will be back tomorrow. I do this every single night. Every single night I do this. So make sure that you come through tomorrow for another seeking advice or a confession. If you like this content, please peruse the other videos. They're a bit salacious and they will keep you entertained. I want to thank everybody who came through. Please hit that like button and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.